let's talk hospital downtown. You're with the Landmark Society, and I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that you guys would be against downtown based on what it is that the group that you belong to.
That's it. We are a society of preservationists.
Right. You'd be really stupid if you said, tear these buildings down.
The buildings down.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So in fairness, I really think that you're for the St. Luke's site.
We are for the St. Luke site. Exactly. We love our old buildings, and we love this incremental and organic development that's going on in downtown Utica right now.
Yeah.
So for us, it's so hard to say, oh, sure, go ahead and demolish everything.
Right.
And go and build us a hospital there when we see a viable option looking on the, 2 miles away.
One quick question, and then Jeff, are you moving if the hospital goes downtown?
Am I moving if the hospital goes downtown? Are you going to leave town?
Because we've heard that from people.
Some people are
Are
leaving
you
Utica.
jumping ship?
Are those like the people that, like, when Trump got elected, were like, I'm moving to Canada, and they're still
I guess
in the United
maybe.
States? Yeah, no.
they're still
We're
here.
not moving.
You're staying.
We are staying.
And then I'll let Jeff. But I do have to ask you, if it goes downtown, and they were to say to you and the Landmark Society, we want your input because we want to make sure that we preserve a look for downtown that matches the current footprint. Would you guys have an interest? And is that an option if it does go downtown?
When we met with the architects and the media company it was either December or January, we really had this amazing conversation with them because we have got some pretty powerful architects and brilliant minds on the Landmarks board.
Yeah.
And they had come up with this what I thought was an incredible plan that really involved the integration of these old buildings and putting the property into a specific way that preserved the street grid and preserved the buildings. And then they left, and we came back with a plan. They came back with a plan recently.
Yeah, it's different than what
didn't show any of that. So as a society, we were kind of sad.
So, but if they come, if they say the footprint is basically the footprint, although what they say they're only about 60% down or something like that. But if they do decide to move forward, which it looks like they are, and would you guys work with them would you still work with them?
The Landmark Society is committed to the preservation of the architecture in that area.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, if they came to us and said, hey, we want to work with you, of course we're going to say yes.
All right.
Absolutely.
Because I know we have the no hospital downtown, which just seems to be all against, and they have their reasons, and I understand. But there are others, certainly business owners down there have some worries, and I know you talked about the numbers coming in are a little lower than what they had maybe anticipated.
Mm-hmm.
That is going to be a problem, but anytime eminent domain is used, it's not going to be pretty.
Yeah.
Unless you want to get out of it, and this was your only shot at getting out of it.
Can I just ask, you guys said you love that area, and that area kind of needs some love. Would you agree with that? And it's been in need of some love for a while. How does that actually happen?
Well, the HSBC building needed love. Union Station in the 70s needed love. And our organization stepped in and saved those two buildings. And I was at Ocean Blue on Friday night, literally about 3/4 in the bag, maybe. But I was
Fair.
literally
Appreciate the
down.
honesty.
Oh, it was I had this glass wine. It was called Epica. It was epic. No lie. It was delicious.
Yeah.
And as I'm sitting there, I'm going, dang. I'm like, this building. Everybody said was beyond saving, just like they're saying about these buildings in the Columbia Lafayette district. And now it is literally the hottest spot.
Yeah.
In Utica, all because a private company decided, hey, let's take a risk on this. Let's take a risk on Utica. Let's take a risk on downtown. And that risk has paid off. And they're doing phenomenally there. And we love it. My husband and I are there all the time. We have a blast there. And we were at Union Station last weekend, too, for the public market, all thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
This is a building that people said was beyond saving. And so we're so excited because we see, okay, Bag Square, kicking butt and taking names. Downtown Utica, kicking butt and taking names. Where are we going to see it next? Because now, trying to get people to invest in downtown and Bag Square is great, but it's become really pricey.
Just quickly, those two buildings are great examples, but those are buildings you look at and you say they have potential, and they're, obviously they're historic landmarks. But do you necessarily see that with like a factory building in that area?
You got to drive down Columbia and Lafayette.
I've been. I'm afraid to put pictures up because I don't want the business owners to think I'm trashing them.
I'm afraid to take pictures because I think the concrete's going to fall on my head.
It's not. Don't worry. They've been up for a while. And if it did, Bill, I mean, maybe it would be an improvement.
It might be.
You know?
I believe there's one assistant DA that feels that way. So, listen.
But no, you've got to figure. Take a look just at, like, I look at the Norm Seekin building right now, and all I see is this absolutely amazing, like a souk, like a bazaar, like a public market that brings Utica's amazing diversity together. Like you got, different stalls with different, ethnic foods and, and goods and stuff like that. And that building, that low-slung, wide building is perfect for something like that. So each one of these structures has something amazing that it could be.
Do we have the investors, though, Jay?
Oh, come on.
I mean, I know that.
Do you see how much money is being spent there now?
I know, but there's only so many that can be spent.
Here's what I want to.
We keep finding more.
Here's what I want to say to that. In fairness, and I get what you're saying, and I'm a big Ocean Blue fan. Taylor and the Cook and Utica Bread and what they're doing down there, and Utica Coffee.
Have you been to Modus yet?
I was just going to bring that up. There are, if you start walking up Genesee Street, and that's right across from the Gold Dome, Modus, which is a restaurant. They have done they brought in old wood and created a ceiling that I love. It's just beautiful inside there. They've done an incredible job. The food is awesome. Service is great. It's really a cool place. And right next door, there's a barber shop that's invested. You're getting these places that they are investing. But I got to tell you something. I could come up with 900 other buildings that don't include Columbia Street and that area, Lafayette, at least 900 that need the same type of TLC that you're talking about. I mean, why are we not taking money and just throwing it into investment on Bleecker Street, which is our melting pot of this community, which has such a rich history? And you still have the Grimaldi's building that's empty. All those buildings empty. There's so much investment that what you're talking about could be done there, and for God's sakes, we have to clean up West Utica. So,
but could it
there'll
be
no
done there,
shortage. There'll be no shortage, but Bleecker Street it could be, and Genesee Street. I just love. I mean, from the days where Genesee Street became these homemade signs that everybody popped up. Now all of a sudden you have new life, new younger people with great ideas that are going in and investing money.
It's super.
It is
really
cool.
It's super exciting. And you know what, Bill? Here's the thing. It can happen in both places. That's what I love about this whole area.
But would it be horrible if there was a hospital there and then all this other development around it?
Well, here's the problem. If there's a hospital there, there's no possibility for these awesome developments to happen. My idea for that amazing souk is never going to happen because guess what? That Norm Seekin building's going to be gone. And regret is a one-way street. You can't knock a building over and let's rebuild it later on with all the cool stuff that it was built with.
I'm not with you, but I will say this. I appreciate the fact that you say that your group will work with, if it ends up happening, which I hate to say, I really think it's happening.
No.
But I know. Okay.
So many things have to happen before you can say that,
right.
Bill.
That's what I thought. I thought I had that house over on Narla Lane.
Exactly.
Exactly. That didn't work out. Sue in Utica. Good morning, Sue. You're on the radio.
I miss Sue.
Hi,
Hello.
I just want to put my 2 cents in. I belong to a group of girls that get together once in a while for lunch or breakfast, whatever. I'm always suggesting, let's go downtown to this place, whatever. A lot of them says, I'm not going downtown.
I do hear that.
I'm just saying that if you have something that has a draw, like the hospital, you will get people from other areas to see the progress the city is making. Otherwise, you might as well just forget it. Because that Ray Seekin building, I'd love to see that redeveloped into something. Yeah, please, don't
hold your breath. Okay.
Yeah, don't hold your breath.
Okay.
I mean, that hospital is going to be a draw, and it'll bring people from. You bring up that the employees come from all over, patients come from all over, and whatnot, and they're going to say, "I have to go there."
She brings up a
very good point, Bill. But I got to tell you,
Sue, that's a great point. I'm going to let you go, but we're going to talk about that.
Hospitals are not draws.
But
the
listen,
Odd and the hockey team are draws. People come down. They come down to have fun. They come down to party. They spend time downtown, and they realize, just like Sue said, she's like, my friends don't want to go downtown because they're scared. Sue, come down for a hockey game, and you will literally turn into a raving fan because that's what happens.
I will say
Hospitals don't do that, Bill. People
disagree.
go into a hospital, they see their loved one, and then they leave.
I disagree, and I'll tell you why I mean that. I'm from the Valley. And my wife.
I won't hold that against you.
My wife is from Clinton. Her senior year, she moved to Clinton, And the thought was, and I've talked to several people from Utica, from New Hartford, Clinton, wherever, Whitesboro, they had never set foot past Charlestown. They just, you drive into the east, it just doesn't happen. It doesn't exist down there in the valley.
Absolutely.
So, the little place, Kevin's Bistro in Frankfurt opens up. Awesome little restaurant.
Fantastic
You got people from
food.
Utica traveling down there all the time.
Yes.
And while they're down there, they see, oh, this is over here. Oh, I've made the trip. I believe the same thing what Sue is saying will happen at the hospital. That you're going to make the trip into Utica and say, wow, this has turned around. And once now maybe I'll give you that maybe going into the hospital, you're going to see your loved one and leave. I guess that certainly is possible. But once you've made that trip, you're far more comfortable to make the next trip to say, Modus, Taylor and the Cook, Mellow Subs, whatever it is.
Happy hour for nurses when they get out, you know.
Whatever it is, so once you've made that trip, it's okay to go to Frankfurt because you've been there before.
You've got two different mindsets there. When you are on your way to a hospital, are you generally in the state of mind that is thinking, ooh, let me look around this wonderful downtown and see things? No, you're generally
Okay, now we're
like,
splitting hairs.
ooh.
We're going nowhere here.
But that's what I'm saying.
We're in a high school debate, and you're going to be taking the opposing opinion no matter what.
Here, Bill,
going
is
back to
that,
the
like
high
I
school
said,
thing?
when
think I shouldn't do
you
that.
are going to, like I said, a Utica, a hockey game.
Yes.
That to me is like you are ready to have a blast.
Okay, I get it.
That's
All
when I'm going to notice Modus, and I'm going to notice Taylor, and I'm going to want to hang out at Gerber's, and all these great things. So that's, I think, what you need to keep focusing on is get the draw to the odd.
Okay, so with that said, you do commit that your group will work if it goes downtown. You're not going to move out of town. You're still going to continue to, maybe Bleecker Street becomes an area where you invest, what have you, but you'd still work with the hospital.
The
group to
Landmark
move
Society wants to work with the architect
right.
team. Absolutely. But we want it to be at the St. Luke's
I
campus
get that.
simply because we won't have to work with anybody if those buildings are all there, and we can focus our energy on, like we talked about, finding investors to go into this area and really rock it out.
You are not going to take your ball and go home.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay,
we
got it.
play in the sandbox with everybody.
Understood. Jay Groh, thank you for the time.
Absolutely. Thank you,
Appreciate
Bill.
it. It was interesting. And the Landmark Society, you guys do great things.
We do. We
You
kick
really
butt.
do. And speaking of East Utica, what you've done over on Rutgers Street, and
You've got. Have you been in the mansion recently?
I've not been inside, no.
We will give you a tour.
And,
it is amazing.
And by the way, longtime Uticans, it's Rugter, not Rutger. I don't understand that.
That's all right. That's
It
all
is
right.
R-U-T-G-E-R. Rutger.
R-U-T-G-E-R. Yep.
Versus
I don't.
Rugter. I hear
I grew
Rugter
up
all
in
the
that
time.
neighborhood. I've heard that for years. I don't think I say it that way, but yeah, it's a weird thing.
I don't know
Rugter.
anymore.
All right.
Potato, potato.
Jay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Take care, guys.